good evening, everyone, and welcome to our March edition of 9/11. And so, for those of you who have been around, you know I am Dr. Catherine E. James. And for those of you who haven't been around, hello and welcome. I am Dr. Catherine E. James. I'm super excited to have you with us tonight. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. And I know it's wonderful because I have wonderful ladies who are going to be conversing this afternoon or this evening or wherever you are. It might be afternoon. So, welcome to our conversation. Why do we do this? Why do we take one Friday a month and have a conversation around lots of different things? Tonight, we're talking about goal alignment or goal achievement, but we've talked about many things. And the reason we do this is because we have so much to add to God's universe. It's so much for us to add from our conversation, from our life experiences, from those things that God is calling us to. But the impetus to this came because we were in the midst of COVID. We're still in the midst of COVID. But at the beginning, we were on total lockdown, didn't know exactly what to do, how to do, who to do it with. And I found myself in a place and I'm like, what to do? What do we do? I had a group of nurses who are near and dear to my heart, and they needed to get a message out to the community. They needed to help patients, families to know how to help them. And so this idea really grew out of that. It really grew out of service. It really grew out of coming together to be able to have conversation, life-giving conversations that can take us to the next level. Okay, so that's the history. That's the history. And I say it every time we start so that people know why we do this. There's a purpose to what we do. Hello, Ryan King. So good to see you. Devera L. Robinson. Hello, my sister. So good to see you as well. And so happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, sir. Ryan is another one of those who we met in California. We have been so blessed. I'm going to talk a little bit about that more when one of our guests come on. So let me get us right started. So what we're talking about today is this notion of goal alignment. Look, y'all know I say this statement all the time. At the moment in which Abba gave us his breath, we forfeited. We gave up. We relinquished the right to not be amazing. What does that mean? It means that you are unique. Like there is no other human like you on this earth. And because you have that precious breath, you also have a precious package to offer to God's universe. And so because of that, you must show up. You must show up. And it's these kinds of things that help us to show up, that call us forward. So we're going to dive deep into our conversation, and we're going to see four ladies who have achieved goals. We're going to have them to talk about the goals that they achieved. What was the impetus behind it? What was their motivation, their thought? Maybe what did they have to triumph over in order to achieve the goals? But we're going to have fun. So prepare to laugh and prepare to get some lessons. So let's come on forward. As we always have, we have Dr. Joy P. Creel, who is our self-care. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Who is our self-care specialist. And no matter what the topic is, self-care is always in vogue. It's always appropriate. Welcome, Joy. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And then let's bring all the ladies in at one time. I mean, all at the same time. Hello. Ryan is saying hello. Okay, so Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
We're going to start with Keisha Yerby. Keisha Yerby and Ryan, they're friends that we met in California. And it's amazing. Like, you never really know God's chess moves, right? Never know what God intends. So, Keisha Yerby, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And yes, that day that we stepped off the plane in California, I did not know that I was going to meet so many people that I would make wonderful friendships with and then connections with that. So yes. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. You're welcome. So you never know how you're going to connect and what God intends when he connect people. And so then the next person I'm going to talk about is Miss Dawn Clark. Dawn, how long have we known each other?
Oh my, maybe like 15 years, maybe?
15
at least 10.
At least
least
10.
10.
At least 10. And Dawn and I connected at Ashland Theological Seminary, and we have been connected ever since. And so I'm so super excited to have you on, my
Thank
sister.
you for having me again.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And actually, my newest sister, near and dear to my heart, Miss Tanya Fielder. She
Hello.
hello. She and I enjoy, we attend church together. So we're sister.
Yes.
Welcome, Tanya. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is my
Ab-
first time, so I'm super excited.
All right, so we got a newbie. We got to welcome the newbie. Welcome. Welcome. We are excited to have you here. So Ryan is saying hello, ladies. He's on and popping and engaging with us. Thank you for engaging, Ryan. Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. Nothing happens in life. Nothing really major in life happens without setting a goal, right? Without setting a goal, without setting an intention. And so when we think about this idea of goals, what I want you ladies is to talk about what your goal is that you achieve. Like why are you on this show basically? Like, like why am I talking to you all tonight? And so I want you to describe to the listening audience what your goal is that you achieved and describe it as in as much detail as you can. I want them to feel it, to experience it, to see it. I want it to be tangible for them, for the goal that you achieved. And then we're going to come back and talk about motivation and all that. But right now, let's just put the goal out there. Tanya, we're going to start with you. We're going to start with you. What's the goal you achieved, my sister?
So my goal was based around fitness. I've been on a fitness journey for over 10 years. I plan to live a long time, so I have to be fit.
Yes.
I don't take any medication, any prescription drugs. So I plan to stay on that same course throughout my life. My family has a history of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and so on and so forth, cancer. So I don't have any of those things currently, and I plan to keep it that way.
Amen. So tell us about, what was your goal?
My goal was to do a 28-day health challenge. So the challenge was ride every day. I would ride my bike. Let's see, I couldn't get outside and walk like Dr. Kathy because it's cold. I don't believe going outside walking when it's cold. So I had to figure out something else. So I ended up riding my bike. I purchased a treadmill. I did the treadmill. I did weights. So I try to do something every day. So what I would do was, for me to stay accountable, I would write it down. So I started writing it down, and then I also posted it on Facebook to be accountable as well. So every day I would do at least 30 minutes plus, and each day I would try to increase like 5 minutes or 1 minute or whatever it was. I would try to increase the intensity.
All right. So every day you engaged in some level of physical fitness.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And part of your goal was then to increase over those 28 days.
Yes.
And you were able to accomplish that goal of your fitness. So I know the riding the bike is what I remember the most about what you were posting online. And so I heard some things I'm going to come back to, is that accountability piece. So we're going to come back to that as we go around. Dawn, thank you. First of all, we celebrate you, Tanya. We celebrate you. 8 days to goal achievement. Yes. We celebrate you, my sister. We celebrate that you were consistent in those 28 days in your physical, and you had some motivations. I heard your motivations. We're coming back to that too. Dawn Clark, describe for us your goal that you achieved.
Okay, so the goal that I achieved was writing this book, Walking Out the Word, 365 Days of Applying God's Word to Your Life, Volume 1. Back in 2018, for every day I would wake up and read the verse of the day in YouVerse, and the Lord would give me a message that I would post on social media. And, people will tell me how they were encouraged by my messages. And a couple people asked me about, turning them into a book. And I really wasn't thinking about that. But then with the LTE group and a number of other things, and the book just kept coming up. And so, during the lockdown and quarantining, I had time on my hands. And so my original goal was to have the book published by my birthday last year, milestone birthday, but not really understanding the process and how long it took. That was just the goal that I set out. So I would sit down and I set many goals for myself. So I would write, I pulled down all of the posts that I had over the course of a year and a half, reviewed them, and I said I would take 30 minutes every day. And I sat down for 30 minutes every day, went through them, edited them, organized them, then, had to reach out to a publisher and go through that process. And so here we are.
All right. I heard listening audience, if you're paying attention, then you're picking up clues already on how to set and achieve goals. So one little nugget that Dawn talked about are those. So we heard it already with Tanya, each day, 28 days. Dawn said 30 minutes each day she would do something. So I'm just dropping some nuggets, just a few secrets here each day. All right. Thank you, Dawn. I'm so super excited. Let's celebrate, Dawn, and we celebrate. Wait, let me get my book. I know you're probably not supposed to go off camera and stuff like that, but that's all right. That's all right. So here we go. Yay! Yay. This is so wonderful. Reverend Dawn A. Clark. Yay!
And the magnificent Dr. Kathy James actually wrote the foreword. She blessed me by writing the foreword to the book.
Yes. Let's see if we can find the foreword in here. I know, of course, we can. And here is the foreword by Dr. James. Y'all know it's no shame in my game, right? Y'all know I believe in celebrating, giving honor where honor is due, right? And so it was my honor, my sister, to be able to write the foreword for you. Dawn is meticulous. Like, her brain amazes me. It amazes me when I hear her talk and explain things and be able to put systems in place. I'm in awe, like looking at her like, wow. So it was my honor, my dear, to be able to write. Okay, all right. Keisha Yerby. Talk to us, my sister. Look.
I got mine too, Dawn. Mine just the digital version.
All right. However you get it.
I gotta get mine.
Right. Yes, I love that, right? I love it. That's what community is about. When one accomplishes something, we all accomplish. When we take one step forward, everybody takes one step forward. And so it's with celebrating, just really going out and celebrating. My pastor talks about, he wants us, when we celebrate, just like we would get excited about something that we accomplish, he wants us to have that same level of excitement for somebody else when they accomplish their goal. So, and that, yes, it makes sense, right?
Yes.
And tremendous benefits that comes from there. All right. Keisha Yerby from Yerby Adventures. Keisha Yerby Adventures.
Yes, Miss Yerby's Reading Adventures. Yes.
Talk to us about your goal. Describe it for us, my sister.
So my goal started, we've all had times when we were at a very low point in our lives. And for me, it was when I was in an unhealthy marriage and I hadn't built up the stamina, the strength, and the mindset to get out of that marriage. So I started listening to motivational speakers. Every single day. Here's that. You said that every day. So
yes.
every single day, I will wake up at 4:00 in the morning and listen to motivational speakers, Lisa Nichols, which is how I met you all, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins. But the motivational speaker's voice who stood out the most to me was Les Brown. I could listen to his story over and over and over and still laugh, because if any of you listen to Les Brown, you know he has the humor. And so I made a goal. I listened to his story where he talked about how he wanted to be a DJ, and he went to the station over and over and over. And I said, I'm going to meet Les Brown. And so every time he would go live, I would type in the comments, I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. And when he would say, if you want to work with me, email me at this. And I would send an email and I would put, I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. And I started telling people, I'm a second grade teacher. His speeches are so great that I could even play portions of them for them. And I would say to them, I'm going to meet him and shake his hand. I even have a picture on my phone where one of my students drew a picture of me shaking Les Brown's hand. So this must have been in April of 2019 that I started saying that. He's going live. I'm seeing people on his show and I'm visualizing. I'm going to sit in that video and I'm going to be on that show and I'm going to talk about my reading adventures. And so I'm sending, months go by. It's in the summer. He changed his email. I said, okay. I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. October comes on. November. Every single time I'm sending the same thing. I'm visualizing. I'm telling everybody that I can. I'm going to meet him and I'm going to shake his hand. I even had one of my students to say, I'm jealous because you're going to meet Les Brown and I'm not. Okay, so I got people believing. And this is second grade. These are second graders that say
yes.
So then in November, he went live. And he said, if you'd like to work with me, send it to this email. He changed his email again. And I got discouraged. And I said, man, I've already sent all these emails. I'm not sending an email. And I went to bed. Any other time, I would immediately, as soon as he went off live, or sometimes before he finished, I'm sending the email. Went to bed. Woke up the next morning listening to my motivation. And it was just pressing me. So I sent the email. This was my 17th email that I had sent to him over and over and over. I had a return email. What are 5 things that you would like to learn if you have the opportunity to work with Les Brown? So I typed those things down. The next thing, I got another email the next day, and they said, what are some things that you are doing to improve yourself? So I sent that email. The next day, I got another email, replied to that one. Saturday, I missed the call. You know how we are. You have a number on your phone. You don't recognize the number. I didn't answer. Who's this? I don't know. I listened to the message. It was his daughter, Ona Brown. I'm like, oh my God. They called me. Oh my gosh. So called back, left a message, didn't get a response. Call back the next day. She answered the phone and she said, oh, okay. Well, you know, she literally said, you don't sound like you're crazy. So I'm going to get somebody to call you. She said, so I'm going to get someone to call you. She said, Dad is having a program. If you want to meet him this year, if you want to work with him this year, and then he's having another one in January, we're going to get somebody to call you. Nobody called. Okay. So I went back to the email that I had received. I started sending emails there. I spoke with Ona Brown and she said she was going to get some information to me. And I got a text message from Ona Brown's secretary. And she said, we're out of town. We're out of the country right now. But as soon as we get back, we're going to send you the email. They didn't send that email. But she made the mistake of giving me her phone number. I kept texting. And I kept texting. And so I text her and I changed the message. Saying things like, well, I'm waiting on the information, or you all said you were going to get back to me, but I changed. You know, sometimes when we have that goal and we're going after it one way and it doesn't work, then we might have to change it. And I said, I'm ready to make my purchase. She called me. She called me at that moment. But at that time, Les didn't have a class. I ended up going through a class with his daughter. Okay, that gets me a step closer. So February to March, I took a 7-week class with his daughter. And on our very last class, Les came on and he said, I watched this whole session. I'm looking forward to working with you all. I don't remember the rest because I'm on a Zoom with Les Brown and I'm screaming, okay? So I didn't hear anything for the next couple of weeks, so I'm back. I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. April 26th, Les Brown called me. And he asked me the questions. If you were to work with me, what are 5 things that you would like to learn from me? I got those back to him. This was a Friday. Beginning that Monday, I had my first Zoom with him. It transpired to Les Brown and I actually becoming friends. And the second week of August, I had the opportunity to fly to Atlanta to spend the entire day with Les Brown. So for me, that goal of I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand turned into a friendship. I talk to him almost every day to this day. So I am very big into that. You are powerful enough to create your dreams. And I moved it. I don't know where it is. We're powerful enough to create our dreams. We have to go over and over and over and believe it and you get frustrated. Don't give up. Don't give up because we can do it.
Give up.
Don't give up.
Camera again. One more. I'm gonna go off camera again. Watch this. Well, I'll be right back. In 1 second, you can still hear. You can still hear my voice. You can't find yours. I can find mine. I am powerful enough to create my vision. Whose name is that?
Mine.
I can find mine because it's right in front of me. Right in front of me. What an amazing story, Keisha. Didn't she take us on that journey with her? Oh, my first storyteller.
Well, I learned from the Les Brown, so.
Oh my God. So can you imagine? So I'm gonna go right back to Keisha. So and you can pick any one of those, but when you had dream fulfillment, describe that feeling.
It's unimaginable. And even sometimes now, you know, if you all go to almost any compilation of motivational speakers, Les Brown's voice comes in there somewhere.
Yes.
And there's even sometimes now I'm like, did I do that?
Like it doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real. It does not feel real. It's just like I believed it.
Yes.
I told people about it.
Yes.
I had a student, Riley Harmon, mad at me because I'm going to meet him. It happened, and it's like, whoa,
yeah,
we really can do it. Like, we really have the power to do whatever it is that we want. We got to work for it.
We got to work.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It is.
It is, and we're going to come back to that. I want to do a couple of things. So I want to do this because I jumped ahead of myself. One thing that all of you guys talked about were those steps, those incremental steps. Tanya got up every day for 28 days. She did, I think she said weights at one time. She did the bike and she did walking. She did for 28 days. And then Dawn got up and she consistently for 30 minutes every day, writing 30 minutes every day. She took that time. And Keisha Yerby, look, she went after it. Text, email, changed up the wording, called the daughter, called the secretary, called by train, car, bus, whatever way to get there. She was determined to get to her goal. I have a quote. It says, written by Jack Canfield. It says, if you would go every day to a very large tree and take 5 swings at it with a very sharp axe, eventually, no matter how large the tree, it will have to come down.
Yes.
If you go every day and take five swings at it, every day and take 5 swings, eventually it would have to come down. In preparation for this, I read one rule that talked about, it says use the rule of 5. And it says that you must take at least 5 actions that will lead you to your goal every day. Take 5 actions that will lead you so 5 swings of the tree with the axe. We don't know how long it's going to take, right? You now, Tanya, you had 28 days set, but that 28 days wasn't the beginning of your fitness journey, right? And so you didn't know how long it would take you to get to the point to be able to do the 28 days, but you kept going. Dawn, you didn't know how long it would take you to get this book out, but you kept going. And Miss Les Brown didn't know how long it would take you, but you kept going. Self-care specialist, what you got to say about this?
First of all, I have to come off mute. What do I have to say about goals, or
just about their stories? What do you have to say about what we've talked about so far?
Oh, I'm just excited to hear I'm excited to hear all of the stories, and I celebrate each of you for the perseverance, for the stick-to-itness, and the I'm gonna get mine, and I'm gonna do it and get to the end. So I just congratulate all of you for staying with it. Now, I do have one question as it relates to self-care. What is it that you did in your quest, for whatever your quest was for each of you ladies? What is it that you did during that time to purposefully and intentionally do self-care?
So for me, my self-care was, like I said, getting up every morning, listening to the motivation. I continue to do that. Driving to work, I'm listening to motivation. Not going to the teacher's lounge, sitting in my classroom, listening to motivation. And on my way home, coming home, I'm in rush hour, so my should be 20-minute drive could be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. So for me, it was just constant getting in my spirit, so much so that I found on the days that I didn't, I was a little bit more snappy. And I had to realize one day, why am I agitated? Why are y'all getting on my nerves? Oh, I didn't listen. So that was my self-care, my mind, getting my mind right for me.
Yes. Dawn, how about you?
I think for me, a couple of things. One was, and you talked about this, Kathy, before, about having that positive affirmation for yourself.
Yeah.
So when, the doubt comes that, this is not going to be good, nobody's going to buy it, you're not going to finish, this process is taking too long, just believing that, I'm going to get, even it may not be perfect. It may not be perfect, but I'm still going to do it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if nobody buys this book but my mama, that'll be enough, and if only one person is blessed from reading this book, that it'll make it all worth it. So for me, the self-care was that internal positive talk.
Yes.
And then also, if the 30 minutes turned into an hour, or the 30 minutes turned into 5 minutes and I got, distracted or whatever, not beat myself up about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll get back to it tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. Tanya, my sister.
So Dr. Kathy told us that February was our what was it?
Self-love month?
Yeah, self-love month. So I kept that in the forefront of my mind. And also every day when I got up, I created a habit. So it was the habit that kept driving me towards meeting my goal. It was like a routine. Every day I had to do this because it was set in me, and it was a habit for me to go forth to meet the goal.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's go to the chat. I'm gonna back up here. We've got everybody saying hello, yay, HLTE, spreading the word. To God be the glory, Reverend Don Clark from Ryan King. Yay, Dawn, they're loving on you in the chat. And then Ryan celebrates you, Tanya celebrate you, Reverend Dawn. And so here's another one of our tribe members in the house, Michelle Hardy. Hey, ladies, I see the tribe in the house. Yes, yes, it's our California tribe. Devera says, I love Les Brown. And Keisha Ryan loves when you share your story. Persistence and resiliency. I'm the same. I could listen to that story over and over because it seems, how many of us have thought we have a goal, we set a goal, and then it seems like unreachable, like unobtainable. Like I said it, but this small voice on the inside, or loud voice, or big monstrous voice says, "Oh, you're not really gonna do that." Do you know anybody resonate with that? That's not really gonna happen. You see.
My voice was on the outside. It wasn't its inside voice. It was me, like, so we're not getting this done. We're not doing this.
Oh, it was verbalized and materialized.
Yes.
Yes.
I needed external motivation
to come back, right? And so all of us, to the listening audience, all of us who are online right now today, who have achieved our goals, who have been aligned and achieved our goals, we too had to fight back self-talk. Lon talked about self-talk. We too have had doubts. And yet, what's the key that you can pick up right now is that consistency. Take those 5 swings at the tree. Keep getting up every day. Keep moving forward every day, and you will accomplish your goal. Now, did anybody's goal look a little bit different than you expected it to look? Yes. Go for it.
I would say mine looked different because even though I saw me being on his show and I saw me meeting him, I didn't see the friendship, and I didn't see on my reading adventures. He actually came on my show and read to my audience. So for me, the goal was bigger than what I could actually see.
Powerful. So that one of the learnings that as I start to focus on goals in the summertime is talked about this notion of set the goal as a point of direction and then give all of your energy into the journey towards the goal. Because we don't know what the goal is going to look like. And if we can't celebrate, if we can't be happy, if we can't experience pleasure until we get the goal, we miss all of that time, that energy, those breaths, the space, right? We miss out. And so all of us, right? We had times when it looked like we were going to get there and times when we didn't. But each of those times were opportunities to be in the present moment, right? And to value and celebrate the present moment. I want to go back over here. Danielle Lang says, that is an amazing story, so inspirational. She was talking to Keisha. And then Keisha is dope.
Thank you, Michelle.
Devera says, Keisha, I felt like I was on the journey with you. Amazing storyteller.
Thank you.
And then Ryan says, yes, she is. Her energy and enthusiasm tops it all. Yes, Dawn, positive self-talk. All right. There's so much that we have said. So we've talked about the feeling every day. I should have stayed in the moment because I had some really good stuff in the moment. I don't have it right now. So we're gonna go to the no. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about my goal. Anybody who's been following knows that I wanted to get into a size 16, and that's what I was talking about. I'm gonna go back because I don't think you finished. Everybody finished. What was the feeling that you got when you finally achieved the goal? So I think, Keisha, you talked about yours, right?
Yes.
Come on, what was your feeling?
I think I was just still kind of stunned and amazed. I got the proofs, through email, but when I opened the box, and the books were in the box. It's just, I'm looking at it and I see my name on there, and it was just breathtaking. And I was just like, wow. And, and then just having people just overwhelming support. You know, people, how can I get it? You know, can I get you to autograph my book? And, you know, just people posting and saying how they bought it and showing that their, you know, book got delivered. I'm still amazed every day.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I just, you know, we can set our mind to something and then see the fruit of it. And then, so that means like every time that Dawn sees the book or hear a conversation or what, it's another tap, it's another drop, it's another dose, you know, of those feelings that lead her to amazement.
Yes.
Wonderful. Tanya, what's your feeling, your primary feeling when you fulfilled your goal?
Mine was super pumped. I was like, wow. I took a picture, my after picture, and I could see my guns. I'm like, wait a minute. I got muscles. So yes, I was super excited. I was like, I'm going to keep going. I can't stop now.
Look, she said super pumped. super pumped. So, ladies, so all of us in life have something that we want. And in order to actually step out on it, it takes courage. It takes courage to actually go for the goal. What was your motivation? Dawn, what was your motivation?
I think my motivation was just being obedient to God.
Mm.
You know, he said, write the book. And so one of the things that I said, you know, for myself a long time ago when I taught a workshop on spiritual gifts at a women's retreat is that, you know, how devastating would it be for us to stand before God and have to apologize for not doing the things that he asked us to do, for leaving things on the table, for not fulfilling the plans that he had already had for us from the beginning. And he had already, you know, created every resource and every opportunity that we needed to fulfill those plans. But, you know, we left it on the table. And like Les Brown talks about, you know, the graveyard being full of books and songs and inventions. You know, I didn't want to take this book to the grave with me.
Yes. She said she didn't want to take this book to the grave with her. Did not, and didn't take it. Here it is in the flesh, in the right, intangible, right? Motivation, being obedient to God, obeying the voice of God. Tanya, what was your motivation?
My motivation is loving myself more. And also preparing for my 50th. My 50th is this July.
All right.
I want to be the most fit I have ever been in the last 49 years.
Look, I'm not mad at you. Look at that. Look, we can do it. We can change the narrative. We can change the narrative. We can flip the script. We don't have to age and then, you know, give up some things and relinquish it. No. We can age like fine wine.
Yes.
Right? Hey, look, that's what we do. We aging like fine wine. Better
with time.
Yes. I'll start wrapping up in here in a minute.
In your whispers voice.
Right. Yes. I love it. She said she wanted to be her most fit at 50 years old. Mm-hmm. I love it. And what's the date? Tell us the date.
July 9th.
July 9th. Most fit at 50. I'm celebrating you ladies. Joy, you've accomplished so much. Talk about one of your accomplishments.
Okay. So I guess the one that I'll talk about that feels I don't know, that I struggled to the finish line the most, is finishing up this dissertation, finishing up this doctorate.
Yeah.
So there were definitely times along the way that, like I said, I was the one that was like, I don't think I'm going to do this. I definitely had those conversations where I had rationalized why I wasn't going to finish. Like, I don't see the utility in it. I don't need to do it. Now, at this point, I had finished all of the classes and now it's time to write. I don't see why I need to do this. And, so I would have those kinds of conversations, and the people who know and love me was like, yeah, no, like not finishing is not an option. So I had some external motivations that was like, well, you do it because, I think Kathy was like, well, you do it because you've come this far. Like, you don't, like, finishing is not an option. Like, I don't even understand what you're saying right now. And it kind of felt it felt just like that, actually. And so that got me on the process to starting to write. And then, lots of things happened in my life during that time. So it was kind of like some roller coaster stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, this dissertation, like, I really was like, okay with not finishing it. And I'm the type that I don't always share with the masses what I'm doing. Like, there's a few core people who know, kind of like, especially if it's something big, who knows what's going on. So like when I finished, like, people were like, I didn't even know you were in school, and oh my God, how did you do that? And da, 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. But I do that for two reasons, right? Because if I don't finish it, then like, don't nobody know that I haven't finished it, right? So like, that's that. Like when I got ready to take my state boards, like I think I told 3 people that I was testing, because if I fail, like, I only got to make 3 phone calls. So for me, like, that's how I would rationalize, like not finishing or whatever the case was. And so let's fast forward to like this last year of the end of this grueling process was like, okay, let's get this thing written. Like, we got a deadline at this point to finish it up. Let's get this thing done so like we can graduate and just be done with it. We get to the point where you finish up this dissertation, you get it turned in, you get it approved to the board and all of this stuff. And then you sit down in a 3-hour meeting and you do all of the things that you need to do to get it finished. And you're feeling like super good because you're at the end of this meeting. And it's like, okay, so you're done. And, not so much that you think you knocked it out of the park, but you're done. So it's done, right? Like, so and then you call your mama on the phone so she can hear them call you doctor for the first time. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we need you to go back and to finish up this process. Wait, what? Like, no, like, I'm like, hang up the phone. Like, I need to hang up the phone. So, like, so what you saying? Like, so wait, I got something else I need to do? Like, well, this is not succinct enough. So we need you to go back to, and so what I heard in that moment was, you failed. Like, I really honestly didn't hear what they said. What I heard was, this is not good enough. And so we're going to give you 6 months to go back to the drawing board and complete it. And I was like, well, I'm not doing it. Well, after I got up off the floor from crying, like, I turned off the Zoom screen, because this wound up happening during Zoom, because this all happened during a world health crisis, right before I lost my job. Right, so I turned off the Zoom screen before they got finished, and like I melted, I sobbed. I was like, this is stupid. Like, I am definitely not redoing this. And I just was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, we don't have to finish. And so I had 6 months. And so about month 5, I went back and I listened to the video of what they said. And they didn't say I failed at all. What they said was, I need you to make some corrections. You do need to add some stuff, and I need this to be, I think the word they used was like, it needs to be more in depth, or whatever the case was. And it was just one section inside of one chapter. Like, it wasn't even a whole chapter. Like, I'm like, I failed chapter 2 and this and this. I'm telling people I done failed this thing, right? And so when I listened to him, I was like, Joy, really? really, but I also was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm really not going to finish this. And then here comes Kathy, like, so where are you at on your writing process? Why are we talking about my writing process? Because I'm not writing anymore. And I'm like, it's good. And that would be it. And then she's like, so what are you doing to finish it? Working on it. Like it was like, I'm like, it was like, so again, with the external motivation, because at that point I didn't have enough for myself. Yeah. So something said for accountability, right? Because I didn't have enough for myself to finish it, because I was like, yeah, I'm done. And even after I listened to the tape and they told me, you know, you just had to go back and do a little bit of work. Like I said, I'm about in month 5 of this deadline that they've given me. And I realized I got about 2 weeks worth of work to finish this thing. And it was at that moment that I went back to the drawing board, so to speak, in that within that chapter. And I had to put together, like as you all ladies talked about, I had to put together a routine, because what I knew was I wasn't motivated to finish it, because at this point I didn't care. Like I had kind of missed my goal, all this kind of stuff, whatever the case is. But I knew if I was going to finish it, I was going to have to put something in place. And so I developed a framework in order to finish it. And so every morning after the 5:40, I wrote for about 2 weeks, and I finished it after the 5 a.m. rather. And I finished it up, and it was completed. And on October 14th, instead of May 20th, I sat in front of a board of people and I represented my dissertation, and I knocked it out of the park that time, actually. And the people came back into the room and they said, I'm at the finishing process. I'm ready to pass. Dr. Creel. And so for me, it was in that moment that I was able to feel everything. And I was like, oh, I'm happy. That was the exact. It's like, this feels good. I don't think I called my mom. Did I call my mom? I think, I did. I did.
Yeah, once you heard.
With her, I had to call.
You word. You was like, call my mama.
I called my mama so she could hear them call me now. Dr. Creel for the first time. And so that, I'll say that was my biggest. That was my biggest as of late. So I mean, just like everybody has said, there's perseverance, there's keep going, there's accountability. But there is this notion of sometimes you have to do it until you feel it, because sometimes you're not feeling it. And there was a part of the process, and it was totally at the end of my process, where I just had to do it until I felt it. I did it even though I didn't want to. I did it even though I wasn't feeling it anymore. I did it even though I wasn't excited anymore. I did it even though the first time in my mind I failed, even though it really wasn't even that. And so it's in those moments where it's kind of like you got to do it anyway. And so that's where, so for me, that wound up being my motive. If you say motivation, I didn't know it was my motivation at the time, but it was just like, I just got to do it anyway. Because Dr. Catherine E. James was never going to let me live it down. And she's not the only one. There were several others. So, but people are not ever going to let you, the ones that did know, not ever going to let you live it down. So you may as well do it. Like that was kind of how I felt.
Community's not having that.
Absolutely.
Right. Community is not having that. Let's celebrate Dr. Joy P. Creel in her completion. So her story tells us that the journey to the goal is not always a direct journey. It's not always a linear process. It's not always a straight process. And listening audience, I need you to hear it. Joy talked about, even when you don't believe it, do it. Keep going in the direction that you know is yours to have. Keep pursuing it. Keep doing it. And sometimes you won't have the internal voice. There's certainly times when I want to achieve goals and I know I need somebody else to tell me, take the next step. Just go on and do it anyway, because it's yours to have it. The baby is in your belly, beloved. The baby is in your belly. Nobody else can bring forth your dream. Nobody else can get the body, the fitness that Tanya's going to have at 50, that is only hers to have. Could nobody else have done this book? like not nobody could have done this. And look, who gonna do this but Keisha Yerby? Who but Keisha Yerby is gonna do this? Wait, I gotta move one more time. Right, I'm out of step. One more time. And who else was gonna wear one of these but Dr. Joy P. Creel? Who else was? Who else was gonna get to their goal, right, and be able to put on the soft hat with the 5
like, give me my soft hat. That was all I wanted. That was all I was telling the people. Give me my soft hat. Stop talking. Just give me my soft hat.
But all of us have, right? All of us have, just like I did those different whatever we want to call it. What's that called? What I just did, Keisha Yerby. That's something you would have done. Props.
Connection. You made a connection to everybody. This person did this. This person did that. Yes, you connected us all.
Yes. And so just like that, right? You have yours. You have yours by any means necessary. Because Dawn hit on it. I'm going to read something in a minute, but Dawn hit on it because taking it to the grave is not optional. And let me just say this. If you're in a community that it's okay with you taking your gifts to the grave,
you in the wrong community.
Yep, get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Leave quickly.
You like the movie Get Out.
Yeah.
if okay with you not being fit at 50, now you need to exit the building.
Goodbye.
Because we are gifts one into another. We really are. We're gifts one into Dawn is still cracking up.
I'm laughing at DeVere. Run, Forrest, run.
Get out.
DeVere's message up there, the last one, Joy. DeVere said, run, Forrest, run.
Get out.
I love it. And LL says community is a serious thing. Is a serious thing. It can be and this is the thing. Community can be one of the most treacherous environments or one of the most incubating environments.
Yes.
Do you see? And we determine, right? We determine. And so let's look a little bit more. We're gonna go back up. We had look, I gotta do this. Devera says obedience is necessary, did not want to take the book to the grave. So she's talking about Dawn. And then she says, fine wine, not Boom Farm. Devera's on and popping, okay?
Not Boone's Farm.
Yes.
Not Boom Farm, but
horrible.
Get the glass, not the plastic cup.
Right. And then Michelle Hardy said, I love Joy's journey. It shows we can think it's one thing and it's really simple and a huge weight is lifted. So we can get imprisoned. We can get imprisoned.
Absolutely.
Right? In believing we heard a particular thing and it wasn't that at all. Yes. You see? And then once we get clarity, the huge, it's lifted. And Devera is celebrating you, Joy. Ryan, you got it? Hey, yay, Dr. Joy. Yay, Dr. Joy, with all the hearts and the hands. Ryan says, do it until you feel it. Great point, Dr. Joy. Do it until you feel it. And LL says, I'm happy. An excerpt by Dr. Joy P. Creel.
I'm happy. I'm happy. That's all I had.
Yes. Ryan says, I plan to die empty. All spiritual and natural gifts and talents will be used up and fulfilled in its entirety. Yes. And then LL says, that's a good, strong point. Community can be treacherous or life-giving. Beloved, I want to read something that is so powerful to me. Les Brown, he talks, when I first heard it, I heard it because I was listening to Les Brown. But what I discovered is that and he gave the credit to Howard Thurman. It's a Howard Thurman speech. But it's so powerful. It says, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost and of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life. And that for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas, beloved. Beloved is mine. That's not in the poem. You never pursued the dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. I think that's I got the wrong version, but you know what I'm getting at. Look up the Howard Thurman version. You never use your voice. You never wrote that book. Yeah, this ain't the version. Anyway, and there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now we must die with you forever." And so it's the point that's been made. Look, ladies, when you think about individuals who have a dream, but they're terrified, right? They're terrified of failure. They're terrified of the possibility of it not coming true. They're terrified of being laughed at or talked about. They're terrified of whatever they're terrified of. And it's enough to stop them. What would you say to them? What would you say? Tanya, what would you say?
Keep going regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Put one foot in front of the other and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Keisha Yerby, what would you say?
You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. That's all part of it. You're going to fail. People are going to laugh at you. All of those things are definitely going to happen. Just go ahead and face that, and like just keep moving forward. One of the things that Les said, he said, imagine the worst thing possible that can happen. Whatever you're going for, like write in the book. Well, it took you 5 years to get it done. Or whatever the worst thing is that you could imagine. Imagine that happening. Imagine yourself getting through it. Then just do it.
She said you gonna fail.
Period.
You're gonna fail.
Point blank and bottom line.
In some way, I mean, when you really look at the lives and the journey of the people that we see on television, how many of them are homeless?
Yeah.
How many of them had failed? Walt Disney, he got fired from a newspaper. He was told that I'm not quoting it correctly, but basically it was saying he lacked imagination. Then he created Disney World. I mean, that was failing. So
he lacked imagination.
He lacked I'm not saying it exactly, but it was basically they didn't like his drawings and his illustrations, and they said that they were dull. He got fired for it.
Yeah.
So look at what Harry Potter has done. She had gone to 11 authors, and they said no. So you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. And even being a teacher, one of the things that I see the most is that the kids are so afraid of failing. I'm a very big why teacher. I don't care if you get the answer right or wrong. Why? How did you get the answer? And when you ask them that question, it's like, you're going to fail. And I think that's one of the things, if we just accept that failure is not so bad, what did you learn from it?
Yeah.
We can look at it. Nelson Mandela said, I never fail. I either win or learn. So I think if we look at it from that perspective of this is a failure textbook, but what can I do differently to get me to a higher level or to get me closer to that level?
How do you make the adjustment? Absolutely.
Yes. Like I had to go from emails to texting to, you just have to figure it out, change your approach.
Yes.
And I think, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and I think that's super important, especially when we consider the notion of self-care, right? Like, because we often beat up on ourselves because of this notion of failing. Like I told y'all, like what I heard was I failed. And like coming from somebody who like don't fail can't really pinpoint like a real failure. Like this was a real failure. Like in my mind, like, oh my God, I failed. Like, and especially something academic, because I know how to do school. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so coming into that space of like failing never crossed my mind until it did. And when it did, I wound up on the floor in the front room trying to get up. But here's the thing, I think we do a disservice to our children often because we don't teach failure. We don't teach kids how to fail. We only teach kids how to win. We only teach kids that winning is good. We're going to teach kids, like Keisha said, we only teach kids that A's are good. And so from a foundational place, we don't teach failure. And I think we could serve well if we could teach failure. Like you said, Keisha, you're going to fail. Failure is going to happen. And so one way or another, you're going to have a story of failure. The shirt that I'm wearing says reimagine. Dr. Nyria Harrington, she has this whole movement about starting over and literally reimagining what you want to do and where you want to go. Like, you have to be able to move from that space and say, like, I can reimagine this thing, even if it's not exactly the way that I thought it was going to be, the way that I thought it was going to turn out, or whatever the case is. But I can do something different, whatever different looks like. We don't know what that looks like. But we have to learn to be able to teach this concept of failure. Like, failure, yes, on the other side of failure, yes, failure is a lesson learned. Absolutely. Failure launches us forward, all of that. But if we teach people that, yes, you will fail, but you get to choose if you get up. You choose if you do something different. You get to choose if you're going to have a different outcome than the one that you said. You get to choose if failure is your end. You get to choose that, because even after failure, there is still choice.
Yeah. I just read a quote by Muhammad Ali, and he talked about whether you're inside the ring or outside, it's not about getting knocked down. It's about getting back up.
I love it.
Absolutely.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
I spoke to a group of, this month was Dental Assistant Appreciation Month. And so I spoke to a group of students last Saturday. And one of the things that I talked about was, excuses lead to regrets. We can make excuses about, well, this didn't work and that didn't work. And, I came from this kind of background or whatever. But at the end of the day, wherever we try to cast that blame, it doesn't get done. And so the choice is us to pursue those goals. I mean, Kathy, kind of to paraphrase what you said and something I said, is that just like nobody can breathe for you, nobody can achieve your goals for you.
Absolutely.
You have to put in the work. And it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have disappointments. You're gonna have setbacks. Things aren't gonna look the way that you thought they were gonna look. They're not gonna, the plans. Just like in Mice and Men, the plans of men, mice and men always go awry, whatever that say, that quote is, because God has the plans. We don't know what the road is going to take us. Oftentimes, the disappointments that we face and the setbacks that we face are part of the plan that He has. To take us to that next level, to get us to our best. Because we learn from those setbacks. We look back and say, okay, this is what I could have done better. And oftentimes the product at the end is better than what you thought it was going to be when you started.
Absolutely.
So when we think, I think, we've talked about this before, but one of the best examples of failing and winning, right? Or winning or learning, and that comes from that part of failing, that learning, is toddlers. Like, they don't care. If you laugh at them, they don't care if it's too big. They don't care if you said no. They don't care if what is hot. What? It's too high. Oh no, because I'm gonna stack up this chair too. I'm gonna go up under here. It's what? They don't care. They are not. You cannot stop their process, because they set a goal. I'm gonna get that shiny thing. What all y'all big people have said? I'm gonna get the shiny thing.
That cookie is mine.
Say it again.
I said that cookie is mine.
It's mine. It's mine. Today, tomorrow, the day after, it's mine. Do you see? And so, absolutely. And so I love a win. So Keisha, right before you said win or learn, I was searching for that quote in my mind, because I just read it. I just read it before I got on, and I wanted to talk about winning or learning. I was like, I'm not going to be able to pull it, and then you say it. I love it. I love it. I love it when that thing. when that happens like that. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up, ladies. We are about to wrap up. So that was the last question. I still wanted you guys to finish. Dawn, what would you and you said some things, so I don't just give the one little snippet. What would you say to someone who needs that motivation to keep going forward?
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Don't let the feeling of fear, of doubt, don't let that deter you. You just have to press through it.
Yes. Do it afraid. Fear is a part of the process. It's a part of the process. All right, Tandy, what would you say to them?
I would say find the right community. Yeah, find the right community. I was thinking about something earlier where it says it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a community to get to its potential.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. It takes community. Say that again.
It takes community to reach our fullest potential.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. It's a mic drop time. It takes community to reach our fullest potential. I love it. We cannot do it on our own. We are not made. Maya Angelou, she talked about in her interview with Oprah Winfrey, she talked about how when she used to be afraid, the reason she stopped being afraid is because every time she comes to the stage, everybody comes with her. Her mother, her grandmother, and all of these people who've been with her, they come to the stage with her. It takes community. Joy, what would you say to the person who?
Oh, you miss Keisha.
Keisha went first.
Oh, she went. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yes,
missed Keisha.
first.
I'm sorry. No, I was still thinking. What's the question?
To the person who needs motivation to continue pursuing their goal, what would you say?
Oh, I had something for this and I lost it. Get a system. Get a system. It is so if you don't have a system, it is going to be difficult to complete. And it doesn't have to be super rigid or whatever the case is. But just like Tanya said, I'm going to do this for 28 days. Mm-hmm. Like Dawn said, every day, you know what I mean? And like Keisha said, she had a system. Every time Les spoke, she was going to send an email. And so a system can be simple as that. What things are you going to do? So get a system and be consistent. Get a system and be consistent. And even when you don't want to, if you got a system and you're being consistent, that goal is in reach.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Mm-hmm. Get a system and be consistent. Keisha, so evidently yours was missed. So
I was the only one. The girl. That's my girl.
Like, what did Keisha say? I missed it.
Devira is my girl because I know
I said you're gonna fail. I said you're gonna fail. You're gonna be laughed at. I said do it anyway.
Oh, do it anyway.
Yeah. Right. That's what got us. That's what got us the whole right. And I know because we went there. We said and we went there because that was a drop the mic too. You're gonna fail. Do it anyway, right? That was a drop the mic too. So that's probably why we thought it was something different.
Nah, Keisha's was a mind blown. You're gonna fail. You're going to fail. Mind blown.
Yes, that you're gonna fail. So do it anyway. Look, I guess mine would be, okay. You only get one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow. Your opportunity comes once in a life. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you want it. You better never let it go. You only got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. That's what mine. Eminem, go look it up. You only got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow this opportunity. This opportunity comes once. We got one life to live. Mm-hmm. And do you fully, do you unapologetically, shock yourself, shock some other people, but you take your one shot. Do it again and again and again and again because you only get one. That would be my advice. That's what I would say. All right, ladies, I love you to life. thank you for spending this evening with us. We've got Pastor Olivia O in the house, and Pastor Camille, Teach Failure, never thought about that. And the way she said it was powerful. And so to our listening audience, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you engaging with us. It makes for the conversation to be much more lively. My sisters, you all add to my life in so many rich, lovely ways. If there's anything, like, I thank God every day. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, oh my God, my life is amazing. It is amazing. And it's not because everything is right. Like, I got some stuff that's wrong. That's out of place. And I'm like, Lord, we gonna ever get this one done? You know, some stuff real wrong. You know, like my front step right now got a big hole in it. It needs to be. I need a concrete man. You know, my side porch needs repair. I got some stuff. You know, some real and I say those kinds of things because I'm on the camera all the time and I'm positive this and I believe in fulfilling goals and purpose and destiny and self-love this, and that could lead people to believe that I don't have stuff. And I don't ever want anybody to believe that, because then they'll never be able to obtain what God has given them to obtain, because they're trying to reach some illusion.
Yeah.
No, I want the real. But the reality of that is we have got to go forward and do that which God has called us to do. And so I want to thank you, ladies. And so why is my life so rich? Why am I so rewarded every day? Not because of that, but because of this. Because I have rich relationships that go back to kindergarten. I've got kindergarten friends. Do you see that I still get together, that we still get break bread and whatever? And every year I get new friends, new sisters and new brothers, new family. My life is so amazing because of the amazing, rich relationships that I have. And so I love you ladies to life. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your voice. I thank you for your gift. I thank you for achieving your goal. Devira says, Ryan says, thank you, ladies. And then Devira says, this was so powerful. Thanking God for all of you, celebrating all of you. I've been so encouraged. All right. So thank you, ladies, for being here. Keisha Yerby, thank you for being here, my sister.
For having me.
You're welcome. Dawn Clark, thank you for being here, my sister.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And
So good.
Tanya Fielder, thank you for being here, my sister.
Thank you for the invite.
You are welcome. And JP Creel, right? My partner in it's not crime. My partner in something.
Yeah, I don't really do crime well. I don't do crime.
Thank you for being. Period. Thank you for being. Love you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. Ladies, have a good evening. I send love and blessings and peace your way.
Same to you.
You're welcome. All right, listening audience, thank you so much. My life is enriched by you as well. All of the comments, all of you all who will read later and listen later and watch later, it adds to me. It adds to life. It adds to God, to God's universe, that we all get together and spar one another on to our greatness. There's brilliance in you. You have superpower. There's amazingness in you. And sometimes life will try to beat us up and have us to believe that it is not. Look, at the moment that Abba gave you his breath, you really gave up the right to not be amazing, because what would it be if you didn't have that breath? I'm just saying. So take the breath, walk it out. If you fail, you fail. Get back up, try it again. It's either win or learn, period. Win or learn. I love you. Talk to you soon. LTE is tomorrow for those who are in LTE. See you tomorrow. If you don't know what LTE is, just go on and sign up or email me, IM me or something. We'll give you a day pass in LTE so you can see what it's like. Go to drkatherinejames.com and let's see how I may serve you. All right. Sending love, grace, and peace your way. Have an amazing evening. Bye-bye now.